There we go, guys. The ultimate 3-ingredient each, 3-minute each carnivore dinner. Hey guys, Dave here, back in the kitchen, and today we're making 3 super easy carnivore recipes. Each of them only 3 ingredients. I'm not really good at holding up threes. And 3 minutes each cook time. That's the goal. It's supposed to be a whole meal, an appetizer, a main, and a dessert. 9 total minutes, 9 total ingredients, although some of the ingredients are shared, so it's really less ingredients. Either way, it's gonna be fun. This was a little idea I had. I thought it'd be kind of cool to make a really easy, full carnivore meal. Something you could have with a starter and a main and a dessert. Anyways, I'm repeating myself. Let's just get started. We're gonna start off with the starter, which you're gonna need ground beef for. You're gonna need some shredded Gouda or some other cheese you like. I went with Gouda. And some beef tallow. So there's your 3 ingredients for our appetizer. Pretty simple, right? It's a fun idea, guys. Just give me some reassurances that this is a fun idea in the comments. All right, start off, we do want to grate up our cheese. Now, mind you, I don't know where my box grater is, but I do have a little, ooh, wow, Gouda's hard. I didn't realize Gouda was this hard. Gouda, I'm so strong. I'm sorry, the Gouda puns are gonna be like flowing fast and free today. Oh my gosh, this is like kind of shredding. I've never worked with Gouda before. I've eaten it before on a charcuterie, fancy, but I've never really worked with it. I'm gonna shred it up. I know this is a zester basically, but I can't find my box grater, so we're going with this. But you know what, guys? Here's the thing. I like to, solve these sorts of problems of losing things by just, buying new stuff. So I just need to go over to daveskitchenmarket.com and buy a new cheese grater. Ow, I just grated my thumb skin off. I'm all right. I'm just kidding. I'm fine. That was a little dramatic. Let's be real. So anyways, grate up your favorite cheese. I'm gonna use Gouda, and you could use cheddar or something else. That's ingredient number 1. We're gonna basically need a 1/2 cup of cheese, which I don't even have a quarter yet, so I got a ways to go. I'll cut away, and then I'll be back when I've got enough. I would say that's 1/2 cup, right? It looks like a quarter cup 2 times. Gouda's a bit of a stinky cheese, I'll be honest, but it's not the stinkiest I've ever seen. We then need some ground beef, like 6 ounces, so a very small amount of this is gonna be required. I'm gonna grab a little bit of like parchment paper or something to work on and take a little bit of the meat. It's a really simple appetizer or starter for your meal. I wanna just basically take a little bit of ground beef, push it down flat, like that. That seems big. Maybe a little bit less beef. A little less beefy. Into like a little patty, basically. And then maybe make an indent in the middle. And then grab some of our Gouda and wrap the meat around it. Okay, just wrap the meat around it like that. Basically, we're gonna be making a cheese stuffed meatball as an appetizer, which I've totally ordered things like this from a restaurant, so makes sense to me. Trying to make sure you fully cover the cheese so it doesn't fall out, says Dave, pretending he's an awesome cook. All right, let's do another one. And we can make a few of them with the amount of cheese we have here. See, this one ended up kind of huge, unfortunately. And I'm thinking about this, like, I really want to make sure that the cheese is central and not all throughout the meat. I don't want it to come out and like, I don't know, I kind of want like a cheesy center, if you know what I mean. Like a mozzarella stick, but it's a meatball. So I'm trying to do this one a little better, because I'm not sure about the other 3. So with the amount of cheese I set aside, I ended up with 4 meatballs, but you could obviously grow this to as many as you want. Oh my gosh, it's falling apart, folks. I think I over-cheesed the center of this one. I'm gonna throw a little more meat on the outside here. All right, this one's a troublemaker, let's be honest. All right, so our meatballs are ready to be cooked. We're gonna go over to the oven with a little bit of beef tallow, which is our 3rd ingredient, and we're gonna cook them. All right, so we're over here ready to cook our appetizer, the stuffed meatballs. We're just gonna heat up a pan, which mine has water spots all over it, dishwasher, dry spots, I don't know what those are, but we're gonna eat through them anyways. And we're gonna take our 3rd ingredient, which is just beef tallow, and put it into our pan, if we can get it in there, and heat it up. There's probably a little too much beef tallow. This will just help the meatballs not get stuck and things like that. Yeah, it's definitely too much. That's all right though, I'll just take it off. Then we're gonna add our meatballs in, and we're just gonna fry them up. And this is gonna be delicious. 3 ingredients, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 recipes. Best video ever. Hit the likes up, hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe. Guys, 70% of the people that watch the channel are not subscribed. You could be one of the special few who are subscribed. So why don't you try subscribing? You should do it. It's really fun. If you wanna watch someone cook kind of poorly and make a lot of mistakes, this is where you wanna be. All right, let's flip over our meatballs, see how they're looking. Looking pretty good. I hope these cook like all the way through and I don't ruin this. It's very possible that I will. We'll see. So we're just turning these again. About a minute, I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute on each side. That's where it's gonna end up taking more than 3 minutes, is the cooking of the meat. All right, so I think these are almost done. The cheese is starting to kind of like pop out of them, which I think is a good sign. I'm gonna check the temp on them. They look delicious. Now, something we can do is we can add a little bit more of our shredded Gouda now to the top of the meatballs and let it melt a little. Maybe I'll take them out first and then do that. Take them out because they're pretty much done. We'll add a little garnish. So we'll set these aside and work on the main course. All right, now that our meatballs are ready, our appetizer's ready. I mean, you could eat the appetizer now, but I'm gonna save it for the end. We're going to take some steak. Now, I did the USDA Prime, so I went all types of bougie. And it says thinly sliced, which I wouldn't call this. I think we need to slice it thinner. I'm gonna try to do this without cutting my fingers. See how it goes. Just horizontal here. Just wanna thinly slice your steak. Come on. I should have frozen it a little. That would have made this a lot easier and safer. But you know what? I'm like Austin Powers. I like to live dangerously. My promise has always been that if I cut myself, I will leave it in for you. Unless it's too gory. I mean, maybe it'll be too gory. Hopefully I just don't cut myself. You guys are all stressed right now. Don't be stressed, it's okay. If this video came out, I'm alive. No one else is editing for me. Nailed it. Kinda. All right. This is why I was never a butcher, guys. Definitely not a strong skill of mine. But anyways, we've got 2 thinly sliced steaks here. Okay, so we've got our steaks thinly sliced. I mean, these are 3-minute recipes for a reason, guys. These are all very easy things to do. I mean, I guess the only thing that maybe wouldn't be 3 minutes is the actual cooking, you know, where the thing is actually cooking. 'Cause sometimes it takes a little longer to cook steak, but the prep and stuff is for sure 3 minutes or less. This is beef tallow, second ingredient. I'm gonna melt it in the microwave. All right, so we got a little melted beef tallow, and we're just gonna coat our steak in said beef tallow, just basically using a brush to brush that on. Oops, shooting at me. And we'll use the deep tallow to cook it too. I'll use some more of it to cook it, so. Yeah, just load it up with some beef tallow. I hope this is good. I mean, I've never really had a bad steak, so, well, that's not true, I've had a bad steak. Remember, the worst steak I ever had was at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, actually. And I've had good steaks there too, so I'm not trying to like attack them, but I had a very bad steak there once that tasted like poo. Literally, just tasted like someone had pooed on my plate. Didn't love it, didn't love it. I mean, have I ever tasted poo? Is gonna be the follow-up question you ask. Well, can't you kind of taste something by smelling it? And yes, I did. As a little kid, I ate my own poo. This is a really good conversation in a cooking video. I had to go to the doctor, it made me sick. I think I was like probably 5. Hashtag regrets. Anyways, panko pork breadcrumbs. This is literally just pork rinds ground up, so you can use any old pork rinds, grind them up. Guys, if you haven't figured it out yet, we're making a chicken fried steak. You know, we're getting our southern out. We're just gonna coat this with some pork rinds, chopped up, beat up, crushed up. Half the people stopped watching when I brought in potty talk to the show here, probably, right? But yeah, coat it, flip it over, and then coat the other side. Oh, look at that beef tallow. It's interesting looking. It's kind of turning white again. Once it, the giant thing of pork rinds. So yeah, chicken fried steak. So we got stuffed meatballs for the appetizer, a nice chicken fried or country fried, what do you call it? Country fried or chicken fried? Country fried steak for the main, and wait till you see the dessert. Oh my gosh, that's way too many pork rinds. That's okay, they're just gonna sit next to it. What's that? Oh, Tina's singing a song about chicken fried and pork rinds or something. Now these are gonna go over to the oven and get cooked too. All right, guys, I'm gonna use the same pan I used for my appetizer for my main course, and as you know, one of the ingredients we are using is some beef tallow, just to help make sure that the meat doesn't stick to the pan too much. So I already have some remnants from the meatballs from the appetizer, and then I'm going to add a little bit more beef tallow for cooking the steak. There's also a little bit of fried cheese in here that popped out of the meatballs, so I'm gonna take that out. And then we're gonna add in our country fried steak. Load it up with panko. Boom. Smells good. All right, guys, so I'm gonna flip over the steak here. Hopefully we have like a nice crispy crust on the other side. Hey, you know, it's not bad. My slicing still left a lot to be desired. Let's flip it over. Honestly, it's not bad. It's a pretty decent crust. I like to do my steak medium rare, so not too much longer and these will be done. All right, so this thinner steak is already done. I need to take it off. It's actually already at like 170, which is a little bit well done for me. Let me check the other one. 125, 129, 132. That one's kind of done too. We're gonna take it out and let it rest. So pull off the second one. Okay, so we've got our meatballs, our appetizer ready. We've got our steak, our main ready. Now we gotta make the dessert really quick. For that, we have 3 ingredients. We are gonna use some more of these pork rinds. For the dessert, we're gonna need 1 egg yolk. Now, here's the important thing. This is my last egg. I'm very bad at extracting egg yolks. So if I screw this up, I can't do this dessert. So let's not ruin it, Dave. Okay, that went okay. Oh no, the egg yolk's already falling apart. This is not a good start, guys. Oh, don't. Yeah, we're losing it. Okay, fine, close enough. Mostly an egg yolk over here, mostly. So we're gonna have to go with that because I have no more eggs. I can get a little more of the egg white out of it. I'm gonna set that aside. I need to go over to the oven. Now the other 2 ingredients we're gonna need for the dessert, heavy cream, butter, okay? So let's go over to the stovetop and cook this up. All right, so I will say, I decided to change out the dessert with ChatGPT, guys. If you don't know that, I use ChatGPT to try to come up with these recipes. A lot of times ChatGPT does a good job, sometimes it fails miserably. That's kind of part of the fun of the channel. But I really was feeling like that dessert was gonna be ridiculous. It called for a ½ tablespoon of butter, which is like tiny, and then 1 egg yolk, which is tiny. I feel like we were gonna get like this much dessert. So I told ChatGPT we need to do something bigger. So we've got something very similar, but a little bigger. We're gonna start off with a tablespoon of browned butter, which we need to make the butter browned, which I've never done before. And it may or may not be easy, we'll see. I'm gonna put it in there, 1 tablespoon of butter into our pot and heat it up. It says melt it until it turns a deep golden color and smells nutty, 1 to 2 minutes. Then it says to put a 1/4 cup of cream cheese in a separate bowl. So I just measured out a 1/4 cup of cream cheese and put it in this bowl here. Then we're supposed to mix up the cream cheese. I would have obviously done this over on the other counter if I'd realized we were gonna use the cream cheese, but like, you can get the idea. We're gonna pour a ½ cup of heavy cream into the cream cheese mixture that I just blend up. Get blend, baby. Like I said, ½ cup. I'll do it here so you can see it, but you get the idea of how to measure ½ cup of heavy cream. Put it in there and do it twice if you're using a 1/4 cup, which is what I'm doing, but ½ cup if you're using a ½ cup. I just am using the wrong size measuring thingy. And then we're supposed to blend that together with the cream cheese. Slowly, it says, slowly. Not too fast. The butter's still not brown, so we're just gonna keep letting it do its thing. Keep letting it do its thing. We're basically trying to get like a whipped cream type consistency out of the cream cheese and whipping cream. Seems pretty good. Seems pretty creamy and moussey. So I think we're probably good on that front. That only took like 30 seconds with this little KitchenAid mixer. Guys, if you haven't been to daveskitchenmarket.com yet, you need to go. It's my website. All types of really cool stuff for you there. Bunch of kitchen stuff. Basically any decor for your kitchen, that sort of stuff is over there. There's also like chat rooms where we can talk to each other. You can share photos, share recipes, that sort of stuff. There's live selling. People go on there and they'll just like hold stuff up in their kitchen and sell it. It's pretty fun. It's a cool experience. Definitely check it out, daveskitchenmarket.com. All right, so my butter is starting to brown. I'm just gonna mix it a little. It's interesting because it's like, I don't know, like little parts of it are browning, but not the whole thing. I think we're really close though. You see what I mean? Look at the video. I'll put it, I guess I'm showing it right now. See the little brown spots? Why isn't the whole thing browning? It's kind of weird. Oh well, keep going for a couple more seconds, see what happens. Okay, so ChatGPT says this is fine, I guess. This is brown butter. Comment if that's not brown butter to you. It says that that's the way it's supposed to look. I mean, to me, well, now it kind of looks like black butter. It's kind of blackened a little bit. I don't know, we're gonna let it cool for a minute. Oh, it says I cooked it too long. I was like there a minute ago. Hold on, I gotta dispose of it and try again. Typical Dave. All right, we're gonna try the butter thing again. I think I went a little too long. I'd rather have it be right. So we're just gonna put another tablespoon of butter in there. This time when those chunks are in there and it's brown, that's when it's technically done. For some reason I was expecting like a fully brown liquid and it says no, you're gonna get clarified butter and some brown chunks, and that is brown butter, apparently. Let me know if that's incorrect in the comments below. All right, look, it's already browning, guys. So I'm gonna lift it up off the heat. I don't want too many chunks here. This was like 60 seconds. Ow. It says to throw it into a bowl really quick so that it doesn't continue to cook, but I'm gonna put it into a cup because that's all I have. And we want it to cool a little before we add it to our cream mixture. All right, since we're done with the stovetop, I'm gonna move all the cameras back over there and we're gonna dig into our 3-3, it's really hard to hold 3 fingers like that, 3-3-3 recipe. All right, so guys, we're gonna take our mixer and we're gonna stir up the cream again. And we're gonna slowly add in the clarified, or the browned butter, I'm sorry. And that's gonna give our mousse, this is a mousse, a 3-ingredient mousse, a delicious nutty, desserty flavor, we'll see. Hold on, let me get the rest of it out of here. All these little brown bits and such. into the mousse, and this is our dessert. Actually, I'm gonna need that again. I'll set it over here. All right, I'm just gonna use this little fancy cup to put our mousse in. It's like a lemonade cup. I'm not a pro cook, guys. I'm just doing what I can. Let's try this. There we go, guys. The ultimate 3-ingredient each, 3-minute each carnivore dinner, and I'm excited about it. Let's start off with the appetizer, as you would. The appetizer is these meatballs, so let's just crack one open and see if they've got some cheese. That one doesn't really have any cheese inside it. Let's try one of the bigger ones where I tried to get extra cheesy. Yeah, well, cheese kind of melted, and it's kind of crumbling, which isn't a good sign either. Let's try it, though. That's overcooked. Definitely overcooked it a little. The problem is I didn't make them all the same size, so I was waiting for the big ones to finish when the little ones were already done. Okay, so we might run into some overcooked. The recipe tastes good with the Gouda in it. Actually, is a very nice complimentary thing, but I overcooked it. Let's see how I did on the steak. The steak's a little better. Probably like a medium or a little past medium, medium well. Yeah, steak looks okay. Let's try that. It's got the pork rinds on it, so it's supposed to be like country fried steak. No such thing as a bad steak though, right? That's very tasty. I'm gonna eat some more of it. I like the steak. It's good, got a good crunch. I didn't overcook it nearly as much as I did the meatballs. Meatballs could be good. I just didn't do a good job on them. So it's a solid recipe. It's just they're not cooked well. The steak is cooked pretty decently, not perfect, but it's pretty good. And it came out really good. I do like the pork rind kind of breadcrumb thing. It does kind of give a chicken fried steak feel, country fried steak. Now the dessert. I'm not sure if this is gonna be good or not, but let's go for it. No, that is good. It's not sweet. It's not very sweet. It's maybe a little sweetness. That's pretty good. Would you consider cream cheese carnivore though? That's the question. I think some people don't. I like that. That's actually really yummy. All right, so we did it. 3 carnivore recipes to make a awesome carnivore dinner for you. Very good, guys. If you enjoyed this, make sure you hit the subscribe, hit the like, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.